Just FYI, I was surprised by this because I've never seen Meet Kevin talk about Enphase, but he actually has a pretty decent position in that new ETF that he just came out with. I don't know if you guys saw that,
I
and that was
didn't see that.
one of his top 10 holdings is Enphase.
Yeah, but he
Enphase is
sold out
like
recently. He sold out like 6, 8 months ago before the big run up too. So I don't know. He's
No,
someone
no, no,
that
no. He's it's
He
in that
launched a new
ETF.
ETF today called hashtag PP. It's called the Pricing Power Index. And
PP
Yeah, he called it PP.
PP.
it's let me show you guys a picture of
trolling
it real quick.
people. I mean, really?
No, it's Pricing Power Index. That's
I
what
want to
we-
respond to Carlos. Carlos, me, no, the Carlos who's writing to us. We've talked about Enphase before Meet Kevin. Okay, Meet Kevin is a late comer
That's
to this
true,
Enphase
yeah.
game. We were talking about it way before, in fact. All right.
That was one of the
These
first.
these
first stocks
these are
we
the
bought.
top 10 holdings in his ETF. He has Tesla, Apple, the U.S. Treasury, Taiwan Semiconductor, Trade Desk, UDN, Enphase. He has $22,000 of Enphase. Okay, AMD, Lulu, and Nvidia. What do you guys think about this 10 stock lineup, Chris?
I would say, first of all, there's three that I would probably not have, but one is Enphase because you guys know already. Like I'm
Unbelievable.
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical, and it's
Wait,
all
Chris,
over
it sounds like you're just not listening, or you just don't care. About what
No,
they
no, no.
say.
I'm
You know what?
listening.
No. Here's what. Wait. Here's a question. Here's what
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson does in situations like this. He just asks a simple question. He says, "What is your strongest argument for you feeling the way you feel?" A and B. What would you need to hear to change your mind?
I would probably need the price for the stock to come down significantly because right now it's been ridden up so high.
So you're
So
talking
right
about
now-
stock once again
Okay,
versus
talking
the
about
company
stock price of the
fundamentals.
company. Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
But does the
that's-
solar penetration thing make sense, or does that still you're like that theory is stupid?
I like the concept of solar. I think that it's promising, but there's two things that I want to. Number one,
I like oxygen, but like I also like.
I like the concept of breathing.
I'm a fan of oxygen.
you can like concepts, but at the same time, does it make business does it make sense in terms of business value? You guys got in at $20, which is amazing, and I'm happy for you. But at the same time, like the new people, if they get in at 300 and it goes down, it may be years before they recover their.
Okay, but there are 3%.
You know what? Fuck
3%,
them. They weren't listening to us when it was 20.
But there are 3% penetration of all the homes, say in America.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So so I'm saying your addressable market, like the available roof space in the United States, we're at 3%, and we haven't even talked commercial. We're just talking about a bunch of people with their little systems.
All right, Chris is not going to change. What other stocks do you not like, Chris?
I'm not big on semis right now. In the short term, AMD and Nvidia semis are not where you want to be.
TSM. What about TSM?
TSM is a little bit okay because they're going to be doing
Because
manufacturing.
Big Daddy Buffett just bought.
Oh, but also
9%
don't
of
they supply most of the chips for Apple too? Like I
Yeah,
mean,
Apple and also now
AMD.
other companies and Intel now. Intel, believe it or not, shifted over their manufacturing to TSMC because they just do it better with EUV lithography. So right now TSMC is like on all cylinders going to be great.
Well,
The
until
only-
Intel builds its own factories, I think people are
Right.
ignoring Intel. Honestly, look, I don't have. It's not a big position in my portfolio, but I do have it in my dividend portfolio.
Yeah.
But I think Intel is sort of like, oh, what are they gonna do? That kind of thing. And then they're putting manufacturing back in the United States and spending billions to do it, and nobody else is doing that. So that's
Can
going to
you-
be a
can
big
you
deal
guys
over the next decade.
Can Carlos or one of you respond to this question? Matt Money says, "Do we have our own oil factories, gas factories, wind farms? No. So why would we want our own solar panels?"
Okay.
Once
wait.
again, is he confusing what Enphase does with solar panels? Like, I don't know.
No, wait. Bring up the question again.
Yeah,
he's
what's the
saying that
question?
he's saying that because we don't have our own oil factories or gas factories.
We do. America
We do.
makes
But here's the
America makes a huge amount of oil now, oil and gas, and they export it out. So I'm not
It's
sure.
true,
where that
but
is.
also, I mean, you mentioned this point earlier. Why would we want our own solar panel? Because the sun shines everywhere. You got it. That's why we're in the Middle East. Is because the oil is there. Do you think if the oil was in Texas, we'd be bombing Texas right now? You know what I mean?
dude, it's just another Palantir hater. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, but my point is that energy is local to the region. It's not like we can. Question doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no. It's a question trying to instigate. First of all, why would we do any of this? Because energy is so important for our.
You also have to. Matt works in the oil and gas. Is a little biased. That's why.
Well,
Okay,
I'm
a
saying
little biased,
energy.
a little
Well, yeah,
biased.
I get that. I totally actually understand that. If someone was trying to take over my industry, I'd be pissed off too. I get that. But We need our own energy. That's the bottom line. Like a lot of these problems have been happening over the seas for the last, what, 30 years? How long? 40 years? It's all been based on oil, gas, getting energy. So imagine when energy is abundant and you can get it right locally. Imagine when that happens. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of fighting in order for that to happen, because even companies here don't want that. And they're paying governments off completely to avoid doing this. Like, I don't know if you've heard of all this net stuff going in California where they were trying to stop solar installations. Have you heard about this?
Okay,
What's it called?
No, but
Nets 3.0. What was it called?
Yeah.
Hold on. Here's a question by Matt following up. He says, you're confusing what I mean. Enphase goes after the personal solar industry. Nobody wants to manage their own solar farm. I think my response before you guys get into it, if I understand Matt correctly, is because then he says, do you have your own gas station or do you share with everyone in your town? Is my house
panels are my gas station.
Yeah. That's my point. If your solar panels are on your house, then it funds everything. Why would, like, gas is totally different than solar, right? A gas station needs all this fucking pipes to get the gas. The sun shining on your house means you have the energy.
This is the mentality. And look, I'm not saying Matt is wrong about that. There will be community solar farms, and actually just Con Edison and PSE&G, all those companies are eventually going to transition too for the people who can't get solar.
Or some of those, like Chevron and Exxon that already have the real estate. If they're smart, they will slowly convert.
I don't know about them. I'm saying Con Edison doesn't sell oil and gas. They don't care what they just want you to pay for the energy. Let's face it, right? So when Con Edison installs solar panels and wind farms and hydro because it's cheaper, just because it's cheaper, forget about everything else. Matt is out of a job, unfortunately, and we won't care where we get the power from, just like he's saying. So that is possible that half the country who can't put solar on their houses because they don't have 3,000 square foot on their roofs, fine. They go buy it, cheaper energy from Con Edison. Me and Carlos, who understand the math of this, will put solar panels on our roof. And is that not 20, 30, 40% of the country who will do this? There's a lot of houses out there.
But also, even for those places that don't generate it themselves, when they're talking about massive like battery deployments for neighborhoods or cities, right? That cover a certain portion of it, that can store that power and feed people, whether it be for overages or for blackouts.
No, but I'm saying both can be right. We can have the grid infrastructure, just like Chris was talking. We can have that. Like, it'll just be solar, more solar, and less oil. That's what's going to happen in the future.
Right, but what he specifically said was, why would you want to like have your own solar farm or like manage your own farm? So what he's implying there is that there's a lot of overhead, that there's a lot of
management, right?
Managing it. Since I've had the panels installed, I've had one inverter that went down for one day, and the company came and swapped it out in 10 minutes, and I've never had an issue since.
I've never had.
And since then, I've gotten 2 EVs. I mean,
okay,
I produced...
what other stocks do you not like, Carlos and Vitaly? What would you take out? 3 stocks you would take out of this?
Well, Lulu. Why would I? Lulu's not something I even know much about, so I wouldn't.
Me neither. But it's also a really small allocation.
I believe it or not, Lulu. At how much their operating margins are, and it's crazy.
You know what? Chris has the worst stock picks, I think.
I guess we'll see, right? I guess we'll see.
Are you 90% in Lulu right now?
Dude, I know. Dude, this is funny. Chris is like, sell Enphase, sell AMD, sell Tesla. Let's buy some more Lulu.
That's right, baby.